Okay, so in this video, I will be talking about multiple things, but first I'm going to show you my notes, and these are what I'll be reading off of. And so first I'm going to talk about the concepts of management, and so I have to explain what the concept of management is. And so basically it's the process of organizing and redirecting the use of resources and attainment of organizational goals in an effective and efficient manner through planning, organizing, leading, and controlling organizational resources. And so next what I will be talking about is the four management processes, which is planning, organization, leading, and controlling. So the first thing I will be talking about is identifying goals, first I will be talking about planning, and the definition is identifying goals for future organizational performance and deciding on the tasks and use of resources needed to attain them. So basically what this means is by setting goals that they want to meet by the end of the month, for say they want to meet $10,000 at the end of the month. So they will set that goal to meet them, or they will plan meetings that they need to attend, or the amount of resources they need by a certain amount of time, and they will just plan these things. And in order to have these things planned, you need to be organized. And so that's what I'm going to talk about next. An organization means society entity that's goal directed and deliberately structured. So mainly what this means is being able to be organized with all of your goals and everything that you need to have a successful business. So, for example, is being able to provide employees into different departments. And what this mainly means is that somebody can put a certain amount of employees in a certain department and certain amount of employees in a different department in order to just mainly keep their business organized and being able to finish this certain task and that certain task and have everything done to keep their business moving. Another thing is being able to have their resources controlled, and so able to know how many resources they have and how many resources they need, and that's all by saying organized. And so everything that you need in your business, you need to be organized in order to keep your business successful. And that is through keeping your goals and understanding what you need for your business and just things like that. And another thing that leads through organization is leading, or having a leader. And so the next thing I'm going to talk about is leading, and leading means the use of influence to motivate people to achieve organizational goals. So a leader is someone who is able to motivate others to do their job, and being able to be a good role model for those around them, and just being able to be a good leader in general. So someone who is a leader is able to keep everything organized, to have their goals all organized and everything like that, and just having to achieve all of these things by being motivated and being able to be a good role model for others around them, and just being able to gain all of this into their business to be successful. And so being a leader and leading a business, it comes with control, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. Controlling means monitoring employees' activities, determining whether the organization is moving towards its goals, and making corrections necessary. So what this mainly means is a leader is someone who needs to be able to be controlling, or a business needs to be controlling. And so first I'm going to talk about monitoring employees' activities. So a leader will be able to monitor all of their employees and to see if they are able to do their tasks correctly, and being able to see if they show up to work and just stuff like that. And then the next I'm going to talk about is determining whether the organization is moving towards its goals. And so this all relates back to planning and organization. And so and being in control, you are able to see if you are able to complete those goals and if you are able to need more resources or stuff like that in order to complete those goals. And so it's just a big whole thing of needing to have a successful business by being organized mainly. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about is making corrections that are necessary. And so that is like, say an employee is not doing their job or not showing up to work, they will fire them to find a better person that will fit the job better. And another thing is like if machinery broke down and they needed to find new machines or figure out how to fix the machine and the amount of resources they need, and if they need them a certain amount of time, and they will figure out ways to get those resources that they need in order to keep their business moving. And if they can't find a resource that they need that is no longer made or no longer used, they have to figure out a way around that to get a new resource. And so all of these things are through management, and I believe that these 4 concepts are very, very important to have a very successful business. And the next one I'm going to talk about is how or why we study management. I'm going to explain why we study management. I believe we study management because it is a big part of being able to run a business. And we study management because it is a way for you to understand how to be successful, how to know certain things, and it's just a really big thing that you need to know. And we study management because it is the main part of what we are learning right now for my major at least. And I believe that we study management because it will teach us lifelong skills as well. And then next I will be talking about the 3 levels of management. And so the first level is supervisory managers, and they are responsible for production of goods and services. And so that means that they are able to keep track of the goods and the services, the goods that come in and the services that they let go. And so another thing is that they are a leader for their team. They are very positive with their team, and they are able to be there to support their employees and whatever they are controlling. And they look at multiple plans that need to be done. So like plans that were sent from their boss maybe, or something that the business told them that they need to do. So the first level is just, it's not that big of a part, but it's still very important. And so the second one is a middle manager, and that is responsible for business units and major departments. So the first level of managers is they are just able to control one department that they are in. And a middle manager can it can control multiple departments, or even just a really big department in general. And they are able to control the amount of money they need and the amount of money they get and stuff like that. They are able to control more than just a normal manager would. And a normal manager isn't really one who controls the money or anything like that. They are the ones who are able to they are able to keep track of the amount of hours each employee needs and the amount they get off or stuff like that. And middle managers are able to do that and more. And lastly, a top manager is responsible for the entire organization. So they are able to control the whole entire business, basically. They are able to control the main department or the whole department, if that's what it is, and they are able to control the amount of resources, the amount of income, the amount they get to control the goals that they want to make. It's just stuff like that. They get to control everything. And so next what I'm going to talk about is efficiency and effectiveness. So effectiveness is the organization that achieves a stated goal or succeeds in accomplishing what it tries to do. And then efficiency refers to the amount of resources used to achieve organizational goal. And so in order to be effective, you have to be efficient. And what that means is, I'll describe efficiency. Efficiency is the amount of resources used to produce a product or service. And effectiveness is able to provide products or services. And so if you are able to have these resources, you are able to provide your products and services that need to help your business be successful. And so these products are, to be effective, or to be efficient is to be effective. And efficiency is a big thing to be effective. If you don't have enough resources to produce a product or a service, then you are not going to be that effective in your business. And then next, what I'm going to talk about is how or why the 3 skills of managers need impact or influence how a person manages. So the 3 skills that are talked are technical skills, human skills, and conceptual skills. Technical skills are mastered methods, techniques, and equipment such as in engineering, manufacturing, or finance. So basically, like knowing everything that they are doing or how to run their business or whatnot. So they are able to teach other employees how to run a certain equipment, and they are able to do everything that they need to do without having to ask for help. And so they are also to control all of the finances or whatever they need to do as their job. And so secondly, that goes into human skills. And human skills means the manager's ability to work with and through other people and to work effectively as a group member. And so when you have your technical skills, you need to also have human skills so that you are able to work with others and talk to them and teach them how to run the certain equipment or run the certain type of department that they need to do for a business. And if you, being a manager to impact someone to be a good person or to influence a person to be better for the job, they have to be able to talk to the person correctly, just everything in general they have to know to be positive to the worker, and they have to have those skills. And then nextly I'm going to talk about is conceptual skills, and it is the ability to see the organization as a whole system and the relationships among its parts. So one of those things is being able to think strategically. When you are a manager, you are not able to have help from others. It depends on what level of manager you are too. You should be able to solve problems without having to ask for help, and you should be able to think of those all collectively as a thought. And then also they have to know how their organization fits into the industry, community, broader business, and social environment. So they have to do research of what their business is able to be in and not be in, and how to be successful. And they have to understand the whole system of what is the best part for their job to succeed, basically. And so those are like the 3 skills that a manager needs to influence their business and impact someone else's image of how to manage. And lastly, I'm going to talk about is how would these skills might influence or impact creativity and innovation in an organization. So these skills would impact creativity and innovation in an organization by knowing how your machinery works, how much finance you need, and stuff like that, in order to be able to keep their business going. And they are able to be creative by suggesting new things that they need for the business and being able to brainstorm what is best for their business, and just they are able to do anything that they need to do to keep their business successful. And so these skills are a very big impact on an organization, because if you don't have these skills in a manager, your business will not be that successful. Because if you don't have human skills, you are not able to talk to others, and if you don't have technical skills, you are not able to run the business correctly, and conceptual skills are what able to get you creative thoughts. So that is everything I have to talk about in this video today, and so yeah.